I mean, I had noticed, obviously, for a long time, the tendency of children with cerebral palsy to crawl with their elbows bent. And I realized that how they have their arms like this, with the elbow itself at the side. So this is quite weak and feels really quite uncomfortable when you try to crawl like that. And of course, you can collapse like that. When you collapse like that, it sort of chokes you here. But when you turn your arms like this, which is how typical elephants crawl eventually, so the bend is there. So then, because of course Doran was mystified when I showed him. So when the elbow is at the back, the funny bone, the humerus is at the back here, then you can get this lovely pillar. And when you do that, it feels so strong across here and so pleasant. And it's that having your hand very soft and then putting it down so that you've not you've not allowed the superficial muscles to take over because it's been such a gentle movement. And then this is where the power comes in, the tiger in the rainforest power. And you're like that. Mm-hmm. But the hand has to be like this, not turned to the side. Children with autism would tend to want to go like that, mainly because they feel that gives them some more stability, because this is so weak. Because the joints are being supported by the muscle outside the joint, over the top, rather than from the strength of the joint and the feedback into the joint. So it's very, very helpful crawling with Doran, because we keep checking everything together. And it's got so much better. His hand movement is much better now.
Okay.
When you're doing this, when I get him to sort of bounce up and down. So what is happening is every time you put your weight there, so there's an internal stretch going on in the blood vessels. So they're stretching and relaxing and stretching and relaxing. And this again is helping to develop the joints in the infant's hands. Now, it isn't just what is happening here that is doing it. It's because when you're doing it, it's influencing all the way across here into your diaphragm. Your whole body is involved. So when therapists try to help a stiff joint just by kind of massaging it, it's useless, because it may drag some of the blood from the rest of the hand temporarily there, but it's not going to alter the picture, because there's no connection. So all the therapy that is applied has to have a sense of accentuating the connectedness of everything, because that's what development is about.
So the totality of the body,
Yes.
not improving isolated parts.
You can't just work on an isolated part. I mean, you could if you just say broken your wrist, work with it, because if everything else was intact, although it's much better to get the whole body involved, because the whole body is involved in everything. It's incredibly important that these systems all connect. And if your microcirculation is insufficient, if you haven't developed the valves to push the blood back up to the heart in your veins, and the sphincter muscles to push the blood down to your toes from your heart, and the breadth of the infrastructure of those blood vessels is poor and not ideally or optimally developed, then of course you're going to have a lot of weaknesses in your biomechanics of movement. So then that leaves the door wide open for the superficial fascia protectively to come in and create the spasticity.